It's day 7 of our Highline trip of the Uintas in Utah. It's our final day. We only have 8 miles left to get to the end of the trail. After I signed off last night, it was a crazy night. In the middle of the night, maybe 1 in the morning, a helicopter, like a search and rescue helicopter, circled our campsite really low, shined their strobe lights or big lights on us and circled like 3 times. And then we met up with Beagle, Paul from Beagle's Backcountry Adventures. He got up and said, hey, check your Garmin, see if there's an SOS or something, but we think that there may be a lost hiker, I don't know. But it was kind of an awakening to see a search and rescue helicopter circling your campsite. We're ready to go for our last 8 miles. I can say my feet are beat up, my knees are pretty torn up, but I've had the time of my life, the greatest trail I've ever been on, this Highline Trail. But it's just been a blast, and I appreciate Pax a lot so much for bringing us out here, just being the perfect guide and the perfect host. It was just amazing. Anyway, we'll get started on our last 8 miles and hopefully hit that terminus sign of the Highline Trail and get to town for a burger. All right, join along as we do our last 8 miles. I didn't catch any fish this morning, but I did step in a hole and submerge my shoe and sock. And then I realized my toe is probably broken.
Welcome to Utah.
Welcome to Utah, as Pax says. And
What's
I think,
the worst that could happen?
yeah, what's the worst that could happen, Jeff says, but that's where I stepped in the wrong footing at the creek. And just hammer down, baby, hammer down.
Let's go to Hayden's Pass for the last part of this adventure.
As we're heading out of our final camp on the Uintas Highline Trail at Carolyn Lakes, there's a couple things I'd like to say about Highline Trail. First, these passes are incredible. The 7 passes that we did, Tungsten Pass, Anderson, Porcupine, Dead Horse, and then all of them. I can't remember all of them, but that was spectacular. You get to go hike up to these passes and go over them, and then the views are incredible. I'll also say that the Highline Trail is very rugged. You've got to have navigation, whether it's on your phone, maps, compass, whatever, because there are cairns everywhere that you can guide yourself, but there's parts that are burned out over the last few years, and the trail is almost unrecognizable in certain sections near rock basin, so you got to be careful there. The trail is rugged, it's rocky, it really does a number on your feet, especially if it's wet. Like we've had a lot of wetness through the trail, and got to be ready for that. Then you've also got to be ready for 4 seasons of weather. We're doing it in July, and the temperatures went from, I think one morning it was like 36 degrees or something when we woke up, and I've seen temperatures as high as 84 in the afternoons when the sun's baking on it. Now, of course, that could be just my thermometer, but anyway, that's the range of temperatures, which is extreme, but still, it's so much fun. And then lastly, you got to be ready. I'm not a survivalist by any means, but thank goodness Pax-a-Lot has a lot of skills in that area, because yesterday we had a close encounter with some hail and almost freezing rain, and he was able to put a tarp up, so you got to be ready for any event. And then lastly, there's no trail towns on this adventure. So you've got to carry your food in, you've got to carry your gear in, you got to be ready for water. I think in the first 25 miles or first 20 miles, whatever it is that we didn't do, you better be full of water and be ready to carry water. So you got to carry a good number of days of food. But what I have learned is, and I appreciate the way PAX did this trip, is we enjoyed the trail. We didn't do 20-mile days and just kill yourself every day. We enjoyed the scenery, we enjoyed the wildlife, we enjoyed everything about it, and even got to fish. I haven't fished since I was a kid that I remember. And so the joy of getting a fish on line through this trip and then cooking them up right there and eating them, that was absolutely incredible. So if you get a chance to hike the Highline Trail, I sure would recommend it, but you better be ready, because this thing will dish out some temperatures and some rugged hiking. All right, let's go on our last 8 miles of the trail and enjoy it. I always love the last day out to the trailhead, just kind of sit back and enjoy the adventure and think about through it. We just have a couple miles left, I think. We're going through another burn section, and you can see life trying to rise from the midst of underneath the devastation of the forest fire. Coming up on Scudder Lake, and then I think we've got to climb up to Hayden's Pass, which is the terminus of the Uintas Trail. So let's see what we got left to finish it out. We're headed to the last push at the top. I think it's about a mile straight up to get to Hayden's Pass. Super excited to get out of the trail, get some town food, and get to a hotel before we fly out tomorrow night. Let's go. Well, I haven't seen many of these on the trail, but I wasn't looking for them, but Pax just pointed it out. This right here, this hatchet mark in the tree, that is the blaze for the Highline Trail. So very cool, but I haven't seen many of them. They were there, and I remember seeing some of these, but now I know what they are. So it's not like the blue blaze or the white blaze of the AT. That's the blaze for the Highline. We only have a half a mile and we're done with the Highline. I'm so excited. Woo! Pax is giving his iconic woohoo! Let's do it. Let's finish it out. Well, we did it. We hiked, I don't know, 80 miles on the Uintas Highline Trail. We skipped the first 25 miles just because of schedules and there's no water in that first 20 miles. So here it is. I'm so excited to finish this. It's been an absolute pleasure to hike with Pax a lot. and with J. Ben Hikes. And here we are. This is it, the trail sign. Welcome to the High Uintas Wilderness. Woo! There's Pax.
Heck yeah!
Here he comes. The man who got all this together. Woo! Well, we've been planning this for a year and a half.
In the making.
I said, let's do it in April. And he was like, April? He was, no, July.
In April?
So we skipped a year and here we are. We did it.
Yeah. Heck
Awesome,
yeah.
dude.
So exciting.
Appreciate it so much, Pax. This was
you're so welcome. It was a blast.
this is great. High Uintas Wilderness. Yes, sir.
There it is. Now we just got to go find J-Ben.
Oh, he's right here.
Oh, he's down there. Oh, there he is. Gotta have the happy reunion fist bump right here, buddy. You did it.
Well, thanks everybody for watching this episode and series of the High Uintas with J. Ben Hikes and Pax a Lot. It's been an absolute, it's got to be #1 on my list of all hikes of all time. Seen things I've never seen, been through weather I've never been through, and been in a survival situation, seen animals of all kinds. It's been a spectacular adventure on these 7 days, catching fish, going over passes, mosquitoes and all. It was a blast. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next adventure of As the Crow Flies Hiking.
All right, we got our celebratory Coke Zeros for the trail. Woohoo! Yeah!
Yes, sir! Woo-hoo-hoo!
And here comes the rain.
Yeah!